Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 33 of the Hunger for the Hustle podcast, the magical number 3. And just with that episode number, I just know that along with the guest I have for you today, it's going to be a great show full of greatness. My guest today, Beata, we share a lot in common. Fresh from the Power Voice Summit this weekend, and she did an absolutely fantastic job. Can't wait to talk about that. Beata is a transition coach and a coach for change, a speaker and a change maker. I've got to dig into that more. I love that. Beata won the 2019 Woman of Excellence Award, which is sounds very distinguishing. And we're going to be here today to talk about, our usual topic. We're going to be diving deep into the hunger for the hustle, but we're also going to be covering what it takes to move to a foreign country and stay there. More than that, not just takes to get there. Leadership in challenging times and bouncing back from adversity. Beata, it's great to have you on the show. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me here, Jake. I'm honored. Seriously.
My absolute pleasure. We've been working with each other, in our little Speaker Speak mastermind group, haven't we? And sharing our material. And it's brought a lot of value to us. And it was no surprise to me at all. I was just waiting for it to be confirmed that you were picked for the Power Voice Summit. And I do just want to congratulate you because you did do a fantastic job. I know, just like you do, it's not an easy thing to do. It's quite nerve-wracking. And maybe you could just share with us, about your experience of it.
Oh my gosh. Well, it was quite of experience. It's almost like moving to foreign country that we're going to talk about also, because I love to speak, but speaking professionally, it's a little bit different. And speaking for Les Brown, it's like, speaking up front of the gut and you want to do your best. So my experience is that so I was like 10 in the whole line. And when I was ready for, couple minutes, there was a person before me and then I supposed to talk. And at some point, it's like, I don't remember anything. What I'm going to say, I don't remember anything. So I had to calm down, talk to myself. Like, you are prepared. You are practicing your prayer. Calm down. You just gonna do you. And when I start talking, you could not stop me. But it was scary.
Yeah. And it's funny, isn't it? I've heard of the term writer's block. I'm sure you've heard of that. It's almost like speaker's block, isn't it? When that happens to you right before you're about to speak, you can just get a blank. And I know Les Brown tells about a story about when he was about to do a speech once in his early days, and he got up and he said his mind sat down. So it sounds like that kind of happened to you there just before. But let me tell you, would have never have known from the speech you delivered. And like you said, once you started talking, you're like me, which is why we both do podcasts, right? Once you start talking, it's hard to get us to stop.
Thank you so much, and congratulations to you because you did it just a month ago. So
yeah,
and you were the opener.
I was the opener, yes, and that was a blessing and a blessing and a curse in some respects. But yes, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to more speaking opportunities. Because you know as well as I do, you don't speak for your own benefit. If you're doing that, then you just talk to yourself in the mirror all day. And that's not really why we're here to do it. We speak for the benefit of others and to help and inspire and educate, motivate others, whatever your own kind of personal reasons inside that are. But I can't wait to speak more and have more of my voice heard and have the opportunity to help more people.
Well, everyone has to start somewhere. Yeah. So we are at the beginning of our, I think, beautiful journey. So
and what a place to start.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, such a blessing. Now, Beata, let's start at kind of what I'm going to go for as the start and talk about. We've both. I moved to Australia from England 5 years ago. You moved from Poland to the States. I'm not sure how many years ago was it actually.
10 years ago.
10 years ago, yes. Yeah, so almost double the time you've moved out of your country where you were born and bred in. Now, you know as well as I do, it's the physical side of it. We were just talking on off camera before. The physical side of it is you book the flight, you get there, you find an apartment, you find some way of earning money, and of course the visa, which actually that can be quite challenging. But there's a whole other chapter to that, and that's the emotional, the mental side of it. You got to make a whole new set of friends again. I know I found these things very difficult when I moved to Australia. I'd like to share, I'd like to know more about how it went for you, the transition went for you.
Absolutely. So I moved in 2011, and I've been in US before. I've been in Colorado Springs, where I'm living right now as well. I've been in Colorado Springs a couple times. So this time it was not much different. I knew that I'm going to stay here for a year because I signed a contract for a year. And that I give you a little bit of the story. So the reason why I moved from Poland, because I was running away basically from what I did not like, what my personal life was not going the way I planned. And when you plan your life has better plan for you. So stop planning that much. And so this whole movement was about, I'm just gonna go away from Poland because Poland is not enough for me to heal, and I'm taking break. And I'm going to US. I loved out there, and everything is beautiful. Everything is awesome. I had a couple of friends. It's US. People are moving, yes, all the time. So I had couple people that I used to know. So I moved, and as soon as I, started my life here, I found out that friends changed. They got married, disappeared, moved again. I felt lonely. Felt different, and I brought the whole baggage that I didn't unpack back in Poland with me. So the mental baggage was here. And if you don't take care of your mental and emotional baggage, nothing is gonna change in your life. You're gonna just find different stuff that is bothering you, different stuff that is making you unhappy. So I was working in a hospitality business, beautiful 5-star resort, but inside I was so not happy. I had an apartment and was there staying alone. Did not really want to go and meet new people because I was not in the right spot emotionally and mentally. And it was what I had to take care of. So if you are planning on running away from your country because you don't like something, I would think twice. First, take care of what you don't like, and then decide if you want to move, because you're gonna take your stuff anywhere you go. And everything was different, and except of my personal issues and emotional issues, I found out that Poland and US, that when before I was like, we are basically, culture is similar. Oh, no. We are not similar. And I found out that people in US are more sensitive. I don't know about Australia. So we Polish are very straight. And especially I think in my family, I was taught to say my truth, where in US, sometimes it was crossing the lines, and they were like, oh my gosh, how you could say that. So it brought me a lot of troubles as well. And when you work in hospitality, you have to really care what you are saying to your customers. So it was challenging, the whole change, the adjusting. So the adjusting part, wherever you go, is it moving physically or even moving emotionally from one relationship, or changing the businesses or jobs, actually that transition is more about your inner adjusting, not really the physical stuff. So this mental and emotional adjustment transition was very challenging. I had to basically learn everything from the beginning. And it's tough because you think you are someone. Yes, I would love to hear what you think about that. You had some career before you moved, you did something, so you had some picture and my ego also, and now you have to start everything from the beginning. You have to start your career, you have to even like going to the post office or doing grocery. For me it was different because English was not my first language, so a lot of words were new for me. So thank God for cell phones at that time already, so I could Google, yes, but sometimes I never forgot I was looking for ceramic, I guess, and in Polish it's totally different, but I thought that it sounds similar. But basically I was saying Polish word with American accent, and the lady in the store was like, what? It's like, oh my gosh, how you don't know this? Yes. And then I Googled and, oh, I'm sorry, it's actually totally different word. So yes, I had a lot of challenges, but sometimes it was also a lot of fun.
Yes, a lot of fun. And I mean, I can relate to an awful lot of what you've just said. The only bit that was majorly different from me was, of course, well, you could question it, but in England and Australia, they both speak English. Now, in Australia, yes, they do speak English, but it's, I mean, I'm still learning Australian, I can put it that way. There's lots of words that there's slang and the accent's obviously very different, particularly when you're, and you would be able to relate to this, of course, when you're with a bunch of maybe Americans or Australians and they're all, they've known each other for years and they're talking in their lingo. Sometimes it just goes completely over your head what they're saying, and you're like, hey, can you just slow down, or could you say that again? It's fun, but like you say, that part's more fun, I found, than a challenge, because of course in that challenge, you, particularly for yourself, you were forced to grow. I mean, what was your level of English like? What was your level of English like before you moved to the States? Did you kind of know the basics, or?
No, I thought my English was excellent before I moved. Yes, that's like, oh my gosh, I had interview, so and I was hired, so I thought that my English is excellent. But as soon as I moved, I mean, I've been here a couple times before, so it was not like I was totally, not familiar with, but when you start, when you settle and you have to take care of stuff that you did not have to think before, like, the utilities, go and register your car and all this stuff that in your country, it's like obvious, or you just ask your mom or dad or friends, and here you have to find out. So I thought that my English was awesome, but then I found out that it's a lot of work still, and the slang, it's like, bro. I mean, now I use it sometimes, but it's like, what is bro? What's this? And it's like, oh my gosh. Or there was a lot of stuff that I was like, what you saying? And they were asking me the same. Could you repeat? And the most important, I think, and it's important in business and life, what I learned through adjusting, don't take stuff personally. I did at the beginning. I was so aware about and sensitive about my accent. When people, they were asking, I'm sorry, could you repeat? And I was like, how dare you? How you don't know what I'm saying? But really, it was my ego, and I was sensitive to what I thought I'm not good enough in. So, and same in business. Yes, when you do work, sometimes people are gonna tell you that they don't like your product, or maybe they are not as excited as you are, or they don't understand what you are really selling or offering. And it's also, don't take it personally. Take a feedback and improve, learn, grow. I think growth is the number one skill that I gained from moving from Poland to United States.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And if you just joined us, folks, we're talking about what it takes as an immigrant to move to a foreign country, and not just to move there, but to actually stay there. And it's something that me and Beata have both shared and done, and we've had a lot of growth through it. And maybe I would say, actually, Beata, I would not be the person I am today if I hadn't have moved countries. The opportunities just wouldn't have been presented to me, and I wouldn't have been forced to grow in that way. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. And you said, what does it take? Oh my gosh, it takes everything. It takes everything because you also said you did not have family out there. Yeah, your family stayed back in England. And yes, I had no one.
I mean, yeah, my sister had lived here, but when I moved here, she didn't live here anymore, and then she kind of came back. But yeah, no, I didn't have my whole family unit was back in the UK for sure.
So,
like yourself, I had a couple of friends, which is good, but you know, you have to. It's good to make friends, and you can make friends with their friends, but you want to make your own friends, don't you? And you have to get out there and do that.
And but exactly, it's push you, like it's push you out of your comfort zone, but you have to do it. I mean, you can stay, but I'm people person, so eventually I had to go and talk to new people because, like I said, my friends, they moved, some people change and were not interested anymore in that kind of friendship. So well, it was different. It was very different, challenging for sure, but I would not change anything about that because, like you said, because of that, it's what I do today and who I am. It's without that experience, it would not happen. But if I can quickly tell you my experience with Australians that visited the hotel that I worked in, oh my gosh, poor people and poor me. It was like my first week, I guess, and I had no clue what they are saying. And they were asking just, I guess, about water and butter, but yeah, one and like both, they sounded the same, bata, water, or something like that.
I can understand how that
and I was like, I have no clue. And one more person asked me also, I have no clue what did they ask me, but I thought that they asked for laundry, so I connected them to laundry, and they taking the phone and like, well, I don't know. And then I found out that they wanted me to connect them with some room. I don't know. So, yeah, a lot of weird experiences, but today I laugh about that.
Yeah, exactly. Now, something you touched on there is about, you know, business, and I know you started your own business since you moved to America. And how long before you moved there did you start your business?
So I worked back in Poland. I started as a coach, but then my personal stuff happened and I stopped. Then I moved to US and had to take care of just my daily life. So I did not do what I was doing back in Poland. So I'm coach today, but then I stopped. And after, oh my gosh, I think I had a coach for myself as a client. I was a client, but I stopped coaching because I was not in a good spot. And you cannot coach someone with, you know, to have better life if your life is miserable. So I have to go through that first. And I certified in 2014 or 15, and I was working part-time, and the end of 2015 I decided to go full-time in coaching, and it's what I do since then. But without my personal story, I would not do it. It's because I had to become a client, and it's how I found out that, oh my gosh, it's what I want to do. I want to help people to see that positive change is possible. They don't have to wait like I did for some crashing moments, emotional, issues to address what needs to be addressed. You can create positive change, and actually change, which is usually scary. It's nothing else than another opportunity that you can see when you are inside of the frame, yes, because you cannot see the picture, as Les Brown says. You cannot see the pictures from the inside of the frame.
Yeah. So that's how it kind of came about, the start of your life coaching, your Beata life coaching. It's kind of you were a client yourself, you needed some help in that regard, and you thought, wow, this has really changed and changed my life. So why not do that for others?
It changed my life totally. Yeah.
That's great. It's great that you were so inspired by the help you got to then transform that to helping other people. It's brilliant. So what have your kind of I always like to ask the challenges of any business, because I find, as we've just talked about moving countries there, the challenges is where you really get the most growth. So what kind of challenges have you had with your business so far?
Oh my gosh. First of all, my challenge was to become entrepreneur, because I was not born in the family. I am the first probably entrepreneur in my family. So I did not have that background. It was mentally challenging. A lot of time I had doubt. Can I do it? Can I do it? But then you just have to decide, and you have to take a risk. And I decided, yes, I want to do it. I want to help. And if I want to help, I have to just go fully into it. And then, well, probably it's in all businesses, my product is not tangible really. So it was challenging for me to show people what I'm offering. And my mistake, I think, was that I was trying to do it on my own, because I'm independent. Yes, I can do it. I can do whatever. But I would not suggest that. If you are not sure, reach out to professionals, reach out to business coaches, to someone who already walked your path, and just ask for help. So I was trying, I think, for a little bit too long to figure out who is my target. And again, I can do it alone. No, you cannot do it alone. And yeah, I think it was and technology. Oh my gosh, you already know. I already talked to you about. I really, me and technology, we are not best friends. So it was challenging for sure, figuring out the apps, the StreamYards, and all of this. And like,
and then it's all good, like you figured it out, but then when you're like, okay, I can do this, I got it figured out, but then when something goes wrong, you're like, oh no.
and before you learn, sometimes everything changes, and you think that you have figured this out, and okay, then you have to figure this out again, and it's just another way to learn.
Yes, yeah, it is another way to learn. I call it baptism of fire. Just throw yourself in at the deep end, get amongst it all, and that's probably the quickest way to figure it out. Of course, you could do a range of courses, or even better than that, like you said, ask for help, ask someone who's already doing it, ask how they do it.
Yeah, or delegate it to someone else who really enjoys this part. Yeah, because it's
Yeah, well, I think considering you made that admission that you're not great with technology. I mean, you still produce fantastic content. So maybe we could touch on that. Do you do a lot of it yourself, or do you have a lot of other people to take care of it for you?
Oh no, I still do a lot of stuff on myself. As a small business, I mean, I speak for myself, but people that I know also, as a small business, many times we do more by ourselves.
Yeah, you got it right. Particularly when things are in the early days and the money's not coming in, you have to wear all the hats and do all the different jobs.
Especially in the early days. Oh yeah, you just do it, and you are I don't know if I can say that words here, but sometimes you're gonna be pissed off, but you still have to do it.
It's fine. There's no parents or teachers to tell us off here. Yeah, you can. It can get you pissed off for sure, but it's important to just write it out. Remember why you're doing it. Stay committed, and in your case, as a life coach, it's you're there to help others. If you stop doing it, then there's a lot of people that are getting your help now, and they will need your help in the future, of course. So yeah, it's important for sure. Now we're gonna switch straight from the challenges to the wins. I want you to share some big wins in your business while you've been a life coach.
Of course, so challenges are always there, but wins, it's what actually confirms that what you do right, and it's just confirmation that whatever your mission is it's just confirmation. Also for me, my clients' wins are the confirmations that I do what I do right and that I should stay, because I'm sure, I mean, I don't know about you, but a lot of entrepreneurs, when stuff gets tough, we doubt ourselves and like, really, what I was thinking, can I really do it? And when this customers wins or clients wins comes, and what I enjoy the most is seeing my clients changing, going from being stuck or being afraid of change to creating change in their relationships, in their life, businesses. And that's so funny, but most of my clients, they come with personal stuff, but at the end they are just become entrepreneurs. Basically, really, like all my clients, they are opening some kind of businesses at the end of our coaching. It's like, oh my gosh, maybe I'm supposed to be a business coach or something like that.
Maybe you're both. You can be both.
Oh, absolutely. Well, all is the mix, but sometimes business coach is not really what I want to focus on. But yeah, and it's one of the wins, it's seeing your clients. The other wins is seeing my company growing and seeing that my name is getting, people are recognizing me. And I do also meaningful conversations that you will be also on. I'm so excited for that, the show. And I do it for a year. And at the beginning, I had, oh my gosh, I had to find people, ask, would you like to? So I was like searching constantly. And now I don't have to do it. People are coming to me and say, I would love to be on your show. It's like, oh my gosh, Beata, you are really famous. just kidding. But yeah, it's just confirmation that I do something right. Yes. So it's another win. I just like to know that what I'm producing is helping people grow, and it's helping I'm impacting people. It's my mission. It's what I love to do. Positive change, positive impact. And that's why I also started speaking, because it's another way to get to more people and impact more people.
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's interesting what you said there, that a lot of your clients then go on to start their own businesses. I was speaking to someone, a guest who I've got later on in the week, who helps me out with a lot of my technical stuff. And he said, you know, particularly relating to e-commerce, but this time now is like the gold rush for e-commerce businesses, you know, for people who already have one or are already starting one. And it's been caused by the pandemic, really. So I think it's a time of challenge, but great opportunity, particularly for e-commerce businesses. So it's no surprise to me that a lot of your clients are inspired by yourself, and that you're an entrepreneur, and that you had to work through a lot of challenges to get there, particularly if, you know, your clients are American. They're going to see you and think, well, you know, Beata did it and she moved all the way from Poland and did it. So why can't I do it if this is already, you know, the place I was born and bred?
But isn't it, and I mean, I see it now, but I don't know if you agree, like I didn't see it before. I've seen me being from different country as an obstacle, but actually it was advantage.
It is an advantage, yeah, because you're exclusive.
Right, and you too, yeah. Like you came from. It doesn't matter that basically it's the same language for you, but it's changed. Coming across the ocean and start new life in new country, it's not easy. So, and it takes a really strong mindset to do it, and you know, a lot of inner strength.
It does take a lot of commitment.
Right.
And I think, you know, you are exclusive and you have some great value, because some people like your accent. You know, some people hear you talk. I'm sure this has happened to you. People go, I love your accent. Where are you from?
All the time. And again, when I was working in hospitality, when you hear it like 1,000 times a day, it's like, oh my gosh. So it's also a funny story, because I had a lot of people from Chicago, and of course, I don't know if you know, Chicago is like another Poland. There is a lot of Polish people, a lot of huge community. So when I knew that, or I mean, someone told me about that, and then I was asking, oh, you have accent, where are you from? And I was saying, from Chicago.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
you got to have some fun with it, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Guys, if you're just joining us, my guest today is Beata, and we have been talking about business and what it takes to survive and thrive in business and the challenges of moving to another country. Now, something I'd like to talk to you about now, Beata, which I know this is something that you kind of a main focus, you could say, of your life coaching, which is leadership, and particularly leadership in challenging times. So perhaps you could share with us some information on leadership and how particularly challenging times. I mean, wow, 2020, it's been a challenging time. If you're living and breathing in this time, it's been pretty challenging for you in one way or another. So perhaps you could tell us a bit more about leadership in that time, because I think it's really important that people have great leaders in this time.
Absolutely. Well, I love leadership, and I had to learn it early as well. But I think sometimes there is this misunderstanding. We think that we have to follow follow the leaders, but actually leadership starts with us. The leadership starts always with you. You have to first lead yourself before you lead people in your company or wherever you are the leader in. So I'm from Poland, and I was born in tough times. And I had to learn pretty quickly to lead myself and lead my future if I don't want to stay where I am. I knew that I don't want to stay there. So it takes decisive mindset. I think number one, as a leader, you have to have a decisive mindset, strong mindset, independent thinking, which I always highlight to my clients, and we work on it a lot, because you have to make decisions for you first and for your company, but you have to communicate to your people. And if you have just your family, you have to communicate to your family in the way that they understand that the change that is coming is good. So you have to be visionary as well. So the vision, like 2020, it sucks. Like we there's no doubt, nobody would like to live like that for next years. Yes, we don't know how much longer, but change happens every day. Same with what is going on right now. It's gonna end eventually, or we're gonna adjust this to this new normal. Every single day you go through change, and we don't even see it or feel it because it's just part of life. And especially leaders, they have to admit and explain to their employees that we are getting into like 2020. Okay, it's gonna be challenging, but we're gonna do it. And I have vision for us, and I believe in you, because the leader needs to believe in him or herself as well. But again, it has to start with you. You have to be good leader for yourself. You have to make decisions quickly, have a strong mindset, adjustable mindset. I often say unbeatable mindset, like athletes, because you have to adapt quickly, make decisions, and move forward. You cannot keep yourself and your people in the unknown, because they are already scared. They don't know. You have to be strong to show them the direction, the vision that you have for your company, or you, even your family, because in the family, someone needs to be a leader as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. And a lot of the things you just said.
Communication is the other thing. You have to communicate everything directly, be honest.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that's something I'll be honest and say I've learned. That's something I've been learning a lot recently, to be better at communicating. And to communicate ahead of time, I think, is important as well. It's a great skill as a leader. I can identify as being a leader. You know, I have my own business, and like, you know, it involves many moving parts and many people to make it happen. And what do those people need? They need a good leader, as you said, one who makes decisions quickly. Very quickly. I think it's the quicker you can make a decision, the more powerful it is, because when you're in that space of just questioning and then not too sure and indecisiveness that can then lead to a bit of procrastination. And not making a decision is actually making a decision in itself, and it certainly doesn't lead to productivity.
Well, if your people see you undecisive, you lost their trust, because they are already, oh, well, if he doesn't know, how we know that we're gonna succeed? Yeah. And the other thing is, I think I did not mention, you have to be willing to take the risks. It's necessary as a leader. You have, oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, I know that one. And the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward, right? I really, really do know about that one. I think it's important, like on the leadership thing, it's like you always led with, and your main point was there, that you have to lead yourself first. If you don't lead yourself, then you're going to end up lost. Then what are you expecting? What's the expectation then of your team and the people who are following you? They're also going to get lost as well. And it's probably not a good path to go down.
And the other thing, which I believe it's important for leaders in a business and in private life, it's managing yourself. You have to manage yourself first before you start talking to people, especially I'm talking about emotions. I had many, so I don't call leaders that are not leaders, so I call them bosses, because we have bosses and we have leaders. The bosses are the one that they have huge egos and they yell and they point out at you that it's always your fault. Don't they take responsibility for whatever change happened, or good or bad, whatever. They take advantage of the good stuff, then say it's me, but something is not going right, they're gonna say you. I had bosses like that, and I was always like, oh my gosh, I want to shake them. Take responsibility for yourself, yes. And you can sometimes say it. And I'm Polish, so if I said it, I was in trouble. And but you have to manage yourself first. You have a bad day. It's not your employee's fault. It's not your customer fault. Go to the mirror and talk to yourself first. Like, what is the real reason behind that? So manage yourself first before you approach someone else.
Yeah, you're right. Like, take that responsibility and own it. If someone made a mistake, okay, everyone makes mistakes. They're human. Why did they make the mistake? Perhaps you didn't instruct them properly. Perhaps you didn't give them the right amount of information for them to be able to make the correct decision. But if it's your business, your project, then that lies with you wholly and truly, and responsible. Like, the responsibility stops with you. And I think that
be open for feedback. Yes, like, come on, be open.
There's always, I once heard Tony Robbins say something about business. He said that there's always two parts to your business that you need to constantly be working on. Where your business is at now, and that's how are you serving your customers now? What's their experience of your whatever you're providing? And then where is your business, in the future? You've got to think about, where is it going, where is it heading, and where is it going to end up eventually? What's your goals and aspirations? Which is something I'll be asking you about in a minute, actually. You've always got to keep those two parts of it flowing and growing, and so you can carry on providing a better experience. Because particularly in the world that we live in now, with technology and how fast it's moving and how things are changing, you got to keep up with it. Otherwise, I always like to say, like, you've got to keep evolving, or you risk becoming extinct.
Absolutely. And Tony Robbins says, and I love Tony Robbins also.
It's great, isn't it? Yeah.
He said, if you do something over and over and you don't see the results that you want, change your approach. It's okay. Change your approach. But don't give up. I love, there is a motivational speech on YouTube, and he talks about that. I love that. He said, take responsibility for everything and change your approach. It's like two top things that he talks about.
No, he's great. I don't think I've ever come across someone who's so gregarious and just has such a big presence. I mean, he's a big man, right? So he has physically a big presence, but he really commands that presence in kind of the emotional state as well. Yeah,
I did like online program with him a long time ago, probably like 2013, strategic interventions, and we had like on calls, like Zoom calls. I don't know what was it that time, but oh my gosh, yeah, he is such a nice person, but also such a strong personality. It's amazing.
Yeah, the way he just gets what's going on with people straight away after maybe talking to them from 30 seconds a minute. Sometimes he doesn't even have to talk to people, he just looks at them. It's how you know he's someone who's deeply, deeply in tune with themselves, their emotions, and so much so that they can read others in almost instantly. It's
because he is expert in what he does, and it's the other thing that leaders we need to do. We need to work and educate ourselves in what is our niche, what is your expertise on. So do not ever stop learning.
Yeah, never stop learning, right? Every day is truly a school day, and that pertains again to this time. You know, there's always new methods of marketing, of advertising coming out, always new technology to help you with that, which, you know, there's a thing called shiny object syndrome. Have you ever heard of shiny object syndrome, where it's all the tools, because obviously everyone always wants you to use their software and their tools and whatever they're providing, but so there's a lot to learn, but it's picking the right things that are going to work for you and assimilate well with your business and your team. That leaves us as a good segue, Beata. What are your goals and aspirations for your, you know, Beata life coaching for the business?
Well, as I said at the beginning, I'm moving into speaking. So my big goal for 2021 and other years is to get myself on the real stages. I hope we're gonna go back a little bit, at least, to this, what was before, that I can, because I really like the direct connection, being on stage and connect with people. Right now, I'm learning how to do it through virtual stages, which is challenging because it's more difficult to get the connection, like, and keep it going. But this is my goal for 2021 and further. One of my goals, to go from Beata life coaching to Beata life coaching and speaking. So I think I'm on the right track. I want to also, through speaking, I want to get to larger number of people. I want to impact, influence leaders, especially because my main thing in my coaching is mindset. And I think everything starts from thinking, and I want to influence and impact masses, not just a couple of people, but the masses. And I know that change is good and change is possible, and I'm just going for it.
Yeah, I love it. And I'm completely with you. And I know you're in our little Speak Speak group. We're going to do our summit there. And it's only going to, it's naturally, I think it's actually a really fortuitous time for us to be in the space and have started our speaking on the virtual stage, because you're right, you know, you don't get the interaction with the crowd as much. It's, of course, it's not live, and I mean, it really is kind of a bit of a world away from the real stage, I guess. I mean, I've never done it, but from when I see other people do it, it seems like that. But it's a great place to start and to get kind of
and you know, well, what they say, that actually virtual stages is the future. Yes, so I'm glad that we are learning that right now, but still hope for different real stages and maybe travel a little bit.
It'll come. I believe we'll share the same stage one day.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I would love that.
Yeah. I keep thinking about all the people, you know, in the Thinking Into Results group, in the Speak group, in the Power Voice group, and like one day it's going to happen that you're going to get all them people in one room. It's just going to be some wow factor, some high energy in that room. It's going to have to be a big room to handle it.
Yeah, we just have to find a country in the middle, probably, because there's Europe, Australia, US.
Yeah, I'd happily come to the US. It's been a while since I've been there, and I've got a lot of new friends there that I'd like to meet, you included.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people in Colorado now that you know, so come on.
Yeah. I'll come over there for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the invite. We'll make it happen once this world opens up a bit more and you can get on the planes again.
That's right.
Beata, let's talk a little bit about bouncing back from adversity. Now, I know that might seem a bit of a switch from what we've been talking about here, but I know it's something that you like to talk about, and it's encompassing in what you do. And I think it's very important and poignant at this time. A lot of people are going through adversity. I'm sure you've been through adversity yourself, as have I, and it's important to know and give people the tools to be able to bounce back from it.
What a great question. So bouncing back from adversity is nothing else like, first of all, you have to get oriented where you are, why you think that, why you believe this event that is happening is not good. So number one that I would suggest is get clear on where you are and how did you get here. It's how we start all my sessions with my clients. How did I get here? Because you come with some problem that you see as a problem. It's not always a problem, but our stories in our heads, we like to create it and make it complicated. So again, question number one, how did I get here? And where do I want to go? Because if you don't know where you are going, it doesn't really matter what you're going to do. And probably if you don't know that, you're just going to stay stuck where you are. And the second question is, have confidence. Have confidence that whatever is happening, you are able to figure this out. And I'm sure, because people usually come and say, oh no, it's the end of the world. And I've been there. I know, the panicking. I don't know what to do. I don't know what is the next step. But I always seek for evidence. If you say no, tell me that there is no other person in the world that went through the same adversity and they never could really overcome this. Or tell me your life story. And in your life story, usually there is so many adversities that you could overcome. If you could do it once, you can do it again. Just have this confidence. Again, Brandon Burchard, he always says, confidence is nothing else than belief that you will be able to figure this out. It can be on your own, or maybe you need to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And number three, have courage to take actions. And one of the actions can actually be orientation. Can I do it on my own? What is in my power? Is it this change, whatever happened, this adversity, is it in my control or is not? Because if it's not, one, maybe you have to let it go, or maybe, like we were talking, maybe you have to take different approach. So this is the free simple. It sounds complicated, but it's simple. We make it, our minds make it complicated because we are scared of change. And I just want to quickly also mention, change is just an event. We think that it's so many things, but it's just an event that happened or is gonna get happened. And you know it. Usually we know it in the inside, or if you have a company, you see it coming, but we are avoiding to face it. And transition that we talk about is, again, the inner process or adjustment that you have to do either in your company or in your personal business. So whatever adversity you are going through, and one of my best tools that I was taught to use when I was in challenging times is journaling. When you start writing down what is going on in your life, you're gonna find quickly that it's not that difficult or that challenging, that you know what to do or you know where to go and ask for help, because doing it on your own sometimes is not worth it.
No, it's not worth it. And I think that's a great point to wrap up what you just said there with. Is it's not, this time we're in, just ask for help, people, if you need it. That's what it's there for. It's not always easy to. Sometimes the hardest part of getting help can actually be asking for it, and probably that's often the case. Actually, I would say, a lot of us are going through the adversity in this time. It's hard to go through it, but it's even more difficult if you're going to go through it on your own. So
yeah, find a tribe or a mentor. Oh my gosh, I'm sure you know this. Yeah, mentors are the best, and because they also bring a tribe for you. They're gonna show you that you're not alone and you don't have to go through it. And people are really open to help. You just
And it doesn't even have to be someone that you speak to or ask. That's ideal, and it doesn't even have to cost you anything. You know, go to YouTube, find someone that speaks to you when you listen to them. That when you listen to them, you go, you know, I feel like he's speaking to me, or she's speaking to me. You know, speaking to my heart. You know, for me, that was Les Brown. We've talked about Tony Robbins. I know Oprah does some great stuff as well. There's lots and lots of people out there that, you know, through listening to their messages and their story, you can find a bit of relief in yours and yeah, the help and mentorship you need.
Yes, and especially in these times, I think it's awesome time to work on your mental toughness. It's really important to have strong mindset for times like that, because it's just one of adversity that we are going through. We don't know what is next, but if you are ready today, and I'm not saying that it's gonna be easy, I'm just saying that it's gonna be worth it, because you internally you be more prepared.
Yes, yeah, you're right, absolutely. That's a great thing to say. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. And when you know it's worth it and what you're doing it for, which relates back to what you said at the beginning there, bouncing back to, you know, where am I at and where am I going? You know, and in answering those questions, you're going to find out exactly where you are and where you want to go and where you're going, and the reasons for wanting to go there, which can carry you through the tough times of ups and downs of the roller coaster of life. Excuse me.
Someone needs you.
Right, so let's give 3 hot tips from you to the audience and a book recommendation. I would love to get a book recommendation. I'm sure you're a reader. But 3 hot tips to someone, you know, who's, it's up to you how you want to answer that. Of course, you know, 3 hot tips perhaps in this time, or 3 hot tips for anyone who's looking to start their own business.
Well, number 1 tip for starting your own business is do not wait. I was waiting for too long. Do not wait to start. Today is the best day to start. And maybe it's just the idea that you need. I don't know in what point you are with starting your business, but to start, you have to start instead of waiting. And I think a lot of people, and I was there too, again, I have to admit, I was waiting for too long because I was paralyzed by fear and self-doubt. That's why I just have to repeat, find a mentor that will have bigger vision for you and see farther than you can see from where you are today. Mentor that already walked first of all, walk his talk or her talk and is where you want to be. And 3, do not be afraid to seek and take different path than your people or that people around you, you know, because very often we want to open a business and we ask our friends, what do you think? If they are on the same level of awareness as you and they are scared as well, they are not going to be a good advisor. So if you ask for doing something different, you have to ask different people and do a different approach.
Yeah, no, great hot tips. And a book recommendation. What are you reading at the moment that you think is a good book?
Well, I read couple books at the same time, but for a business, I read couple books at the same time. I don't know, Power of Awareness right now. I read that one. Stella Adler but for the business point, I would recommend that. It's Simon Sinek's Start with Why. It's for leaders, business owners, entrepreneurs. It's just about you and what does it take to be entrepreneur, be a leader, and to stay on that path, because sometimes it's tough to stay.
Sure is. Sure is, but it's worth it, and there's a lot of fun to be had too, right?
Yeah. So I always read, couple books that help me grow mentally, and at the same time, I read something what helps me with my business.
Yeah, I like that. I tend to like to read some kind of fiction, something that's going to help me. That's obviously factually based, that actually has happened, and then I like to often read something that's non-fiction at the same time. So it's just like a little bit of fun, somewhere to escape to.
What is your favorite fiction movie?
Favorite fiction would have to be, got one right here, Terry Pratchett. It's kind of,
I don't know.
It's kind of a mixture between Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, but for adults.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love it. Right, we're going to go into some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
These are always pretty fun, and I haven't given you them before, but let's go there. What is your fear, Beata?
My fear. I don't know if I have fears anymore, but
right. If you don't have any, brilliant. That's fine. We'll leave it there.
No, I'm sure I do have one, but I try to always look at fears as a challenges. So I think my biggest fear is right now, but it's not really fear, but kind of doubt if I will reach level, like Les Brown's level in speaking.
Of course you will. Of course you will. Just takes time, and time and tenacity, I think, is the way to put it. And I hope I do too. What is your?
You will.
Describe yourself in 3 words. The magical number 3.
Magical number 3. Unstoppable, unpredictable, and courageous.
Love it. Love it. Powerful woman. Love it. I'm now going to ask you some really random questions here, but they're good fun. Do you believe in aliens?
Of course.
You're the first person who's gave me that response when I asked that. I love it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? I think there's a lot more unbelievable things going on in this world than aliens. So why not?
I really believe, my imagination is really out there. Like, I believe that aliens, they really are walking between us, but we just don't know. Yeah. Maybe I'm an alien. Maybe you're an alien.
Who knows? Who knows? It's a great thing to think about. Spooky. It's good, ties in well with Halloween. And in fact, on that note, do you believe in ghosts?
Of course. I think I saw couples.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you like to tell us about it?
Sorry?
Would you like to tell us about it?
Well, it's I don't know how to explain it, because I don't know if it happened or it's just my imagination, but I believe I've seen, like, it's more like feeling than seeing. Like when you feel the energy, and like it was like someone touched my arm, my shoulder, and I turned and no one was there, but I can swear that someone did this. And I don't know, I did not get scared. I'm not afraid of that stuff. So I think it was a good one.
Yeah. A good ghost, friendly ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last question I'm going to ask you on these wacky ones is: if you were stuck on a desert island, what are the 3 things that you would need to have with you?
Oh Lord.
Take some time.
First of all, I would not like to be stuck there, because I like options. But if I would be stuck, I would like to have a knife so I can hunt my food. And I would like to have is there internet available or not?
I'm going to say no.
Oh, Jesus. I would like to have a bottle, empty bottle, piece of paper, and a pen. So, oh, it's more than 3 things. Okay.
Oh, it's okay. We could class. No, yeah, that's definitely 4 things.
Okay, I would find something else instead of pen. So just bottle, piece of paper. So I can send a message,
Yeah.
in a bottle in the ocean, like in the movies.
That's it. That's a really smart point, actually. I asked a few people that, and no one's gave me an answer that would lead to them perhaps being able to get off the island.
Yeah, so knife for hunting, something to write the letter and put it in the bottle and send it as a message.
Love it. Fantastic. I'm sure it's never going to happen, and frankly, let's hope it never does. Beata, I've put all your links where people can find you in our comments, but do you just want to run through that yourself, just so people can find out more about you?
Sure. The best way to find me is Facebook, and it's just Beata, Beata. So I have 2 last names, but you can see it on the screen. Seweryn, hyphenated Reid. Yes, I kept my last name. I love my last name. And so it's Beata Seweryn Reid, and it's how you can find me on Facebook, on Instagram, and my website is it's easier. It's just beatalifecoaching.com, Beata lifecoaching.com.
Brilliant. I bet you're glad that you got that domain name.
Sorry?
I bet you're very glad that you got that domain name and it was available.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Beata, it's been wonderful to have you on the show. I've really enjoyed spending this time with you today. Thank you for coming on and giving me your time and energy, particularly pretty late in the evening.
Thank you so much. It was an honor.
Thanks to everyone for listening. Our friend Aaron has been listening and he's been giving us some great feedback on the site. So,
hello.
Hey, Aaron. Thanks to everyone else who's listening. There's some technical issues at the moment. I can't see all the comments, but I'm getting onto that. But thank you all for listening, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another episode. Take care, Beata. See you.